What's good? Welcome to First Screen Podcast. On today's episode of First Screen Podcast, we have the one and only C Wall joining us today to go over the Washington Commanders, 27 to 10 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers. We will also be going around the NFL with Al, and he's going to give us a rundown of the games that he watched and let us know what he thought. We'll talk about some other games like the Monday night game. Al has his foursome. We'll look into a little WNBA Finals as well as the NBA. I'm sorry, not the NBA, the MLB playoffs that are ongoing right now. So y'all know what time it is. I hope y'all ready. Let's go.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the first string podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, first string is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Say it from the South, so he rep GA. The Falcons. It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the first string podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the first string podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, first string is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Say it from the South, so he rep GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe, recommend to a friend. Nah, for real, like, subscribe, and recommend this to a friend. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the first string podcast show.
Welcome back to First String Podcast. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. The most important part, though, is that you tell a friend to tell a friend about First String Podcast. As I told you all, we have C Wall joining us today. Al will be in, run a little late. Said it's a Tuesday, so things are crazy for him. Lady A is not feeling well today, so right now you got your boy Pick. We will be joined by C Wall here in a little bit of time. First thing that y'all know we're gonna do is say what's up to everybody in the chat. Right now we got two people in the chat that I can see, and that is Bruce Slash here, and he says, good evening to everyone. And then we got the commish in the building as well. And the commish is saying all rise to everybody else. So once again, make sure you like, subscribe to First String Podcast, hit that bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. And it looks like Sid is jumping in here in a quick momento. So we'll see what's up with the Sid. What's good, Sid? How are you, man?
What's good, my brother?
Hey, listen, it's a good day. It's a real good day. It's our first Tuesday of the month of October. So as you know, as you see, we are wearing our pink in support of those fighting the fight against cancer and things of that nature. So it started off as a pink, now is for breast cancer awareness, now is crucial catch. So make sure that you all get screened and your loved ones and everybody's okay. Make sure, we don't want this terrible disease to keep ravaging people. Said, we had a good weekend of football, right? Especially Sunday.
Sure
How did you
did,
feel
sure did.
about went down on Sunday around the NFL?
Right, right.
How did you feel about it? I mean,
Oh, it was quite a few interesting games. Some surprising endings. Some games that it was more competitive than others. Games that we didn't think was going to be competitive was competitive. Games we thought should have been blowouts.
yeah,
Games we thought should be close, they was blowouts. So I mean,
yeah,
it was a surprising weekend.
yeah. Speaking of which, we're gonna have to make our explain yourselves on Saturday because Lady A's not here.
Right, right.
Al's running a little bit late, but we will explain ourselves with some of our picks that we had last week. I know for sure the one that got me was them Saints. I thought the Giants was on to something. Turns out they was as they would say in upstate New York and all that. Oh, it was Fugazi, right?
They got tape on them now, dog. That's all it is. You know how it is. We'll give you
Mm.
one
That's
after
one
that.
game though. Say it. No, it's no. It can't be just that quick, man. That's one game. That's one game. If you say 4, 5, 6 games, now we got your tendencies. We know what you like to do. That's one game.
But
No,
it's
no,
but,
you can't.
but see the thing is, Pick, they ran him the same way during preseason. They ran the same offensive scheme during preseason. So for him to come in his first game and they run the same thing from preseason, guess what we got? We got preseason tape, we got regular season tape. The only thing different is who was running the ball more often. Scatterbo. And found out that, Scatterbo realizing now that he not, at Arizona State no more, or whatever it was he was at, because he knows how to
Arizona
put the ball
State.
on the carpet. These are
Yeah,
professional.
that was a
I'm sorry, go ahead.
nah. That was a real welcome to the NFL moment. Some of
Right.
those hits that he taken. So people realizing, Scatterable is a bruising runner, and when you dealing with that, you gotta make sure you take the fight to him instead of letting him take the fight to you. So yeah, he's not
For
going
sure.
down on just simple arm contact or a hit without a wrap.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So um, C Wall has just joined us. So as y'all see, Bowie TV will be in the building. Y'all know we have Seawall every other Tuesday here on First Thing Podcast.
Should have
So
had it last Tuesday when the Falcons was playing. But it's okay.
that wasn't the right Tuesday. Say, come on, bring her in for me, please.
Hi.
Hello, Candy. How
Hi,
are
I was
you?
gonna say, I thought I was here the week before they played the Falcons, or after. You talking
Well,
about after?
yeah,
After.
Oh,
yeah,
before
yeah.
I was just like, hey, I already told. I said, hey, this could be
He
anything.
wanted to crow a little bit. He wanted to crow a little bit because he was over there giving me the blues during that game too. He was giving me the blues.
Sad day.
It was a very sad day. But speaking of which, now this was a road game. We had back-to-back road games, and it has started to notice that we come out a little flat, not starting fast. My first question to you, Candy, is how important was it for the defense to be the ones that changed the tone of the game?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I shared it in, and I said this the week prior, like one of the things I shared, and you may have been on there for the pregame show. I was like, listen, Jaden Daniels isn't even in the state. This is Falcons. He can't save you. He can't save you.
Right.
Right? This cannot be the cardiac commanders, whatever everybody wants. This is it can't be that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it needed to look similar or just about how they played in the divisional round. The defense has to make plays in order to get the offense the ball back. Period.
Right.
They have to. They really have to. And it has to be convincing. You have to make people believe that you belong, and it's not a one-off, because we've seen a lot of different things so far this NFL season. Whoa, right? Like,
Yep.
it's been, I don't have to tell y'all, right? You watching it just like I am. So it's been crazy. And it was huge for the defense because the defense lost them the Falcons game. 27 points was enough to win the game.
It turned out to be enough this week.
Exactly.
It turned out to be enough this week.
Absolutely. And I said that, if Jaden was there, no. 27 points is enough to win the football game. Yes, they have they have weapons, they have all that. If you look at their body of work thus far, it's not like they're super high scoring, right? So 27 points was enough in Atlanta. It didn't cut it. 27 points was enough in LA. The defense helped out.
With the defense, yes.
With the defense, look at your result. So this defense has to perform at a high level in order for them to even come close to what they did last year. Even if they, in my opinion, even if they want to make the playoff, it has to be that, because this schedule is hard. It does not get any easier. The night games. It does not get any easier. That's the luck of the draw when you're good. Playing every night almost. Every time you play, people want to see you, and you see how quickly things can change. That BTV also covers the Baltimore Ravens. They were the team to watch. They were the team that was playing all the night games last year. They lose in their divisional round, and look at them this season. Life comes at you fast.
Quickly, real fast.
So the defense they needed that. The team needed it. I think everybody needed it, because after I will be very brutally honest, and was like, last week was not a good week. It was a good week practice wise, but just the vibe, I'm like, they gonna have to. You would be shocked to say in week 5 that was a must win, even though it wasn't in the division, even wasn't even in the conference, but that was a must win for morale purposes. It was a must win.
I wish it would have been an NFC conference game. Even though it's an AFC game, but it would have balanced things out with especially losing to the Falcons. Say it. You ready?
I'm always ready. What do you mean?
Let's go. Get your question in there.
Oh, which game we talking about?
Chargers. Yeah, I know you want to go back to a week ago.
No, I'm just messing. What did you think about how the offensive line played against the Chargers?
I thought they were great, but let's also be clear on that. John Bates was back, and that is a key. Listen. He was one of my players of the game. The run game, and you've all heard me talk about the running back room a lot. And what Anthony Lynn has done with this running back room, what he's doing with this running back room in their preparation for game day. I mean, look at what the run. Now we look at that position groups for the Commanders that have faced some adversity. Okay, they've had a trade. They had their, RB1 or their leader really of that room, Austin Eckler, now be out for the season. And look at their performance in whom they had. A Bill with a seventh rounder. Chris Rodriguez, who's been on the roster for I don't know how long, but people continue to forget about him. And Jeremy McNichols, that still doesn't get his flowers, even though he breaks tackles like nobody's business every single week. So when John Bates is in there, he is an extension of the offensive line. I think the offensive line, even with their changes on the line, has been you can't expect much more than that, right? It's been good. There's still too many pre-snap penalties for me, though. And that's
Yeah.
across the board. I've seen some really super random pre-snap penalties. I'm like, well, why did everybody move on that one? Like, what happened with the pre-snap penalties? So still have to get to the bottom of that, because they're just giving away yardage at that point in time and really beating themselves in some instances, or making it harder on themselves to execute to get down the field. But I think the offensive line has been great, but a lot of their success is when John Bates is out there, and he was back this week.
Well, it looks like we're about to keep it on the line for a little bit, because I'm going to the defensive side of the ball. Deron Payne, Kinlaw, you called out Dejon Newton last week saying, hey, where are you? And he showed up in a big way this week. So does this defensive line now understand that they are the ones that stir the drink on that defensive side of the ball, let those ones in the back handle business on the backside, but they can't do anything without them?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why you didn't hear Marshawn Lattimore name in a negative way. This could have been a very tough, brutal game for the secondary against the Chargers. Because here's the thing. The Chargers have, in my opinion, a great wide receiver group in Keenan Allen. Right, and with Keenan Allen leading the pack, they have good names. We don't talk about them because we're not in the same conference, the same division. You don't see them, but a few times every other year, right, or every so often. And they're well coached, right? Yes. They're well coached. They have, they're good. And I said this on the pregame. I said this could be a bad day. This could be a bad day. If ever they saw a bad day, it could be today. And the fact that the defensive line, you have to win at the line. And so the defensive line must show up like that, because sometimes they get missing as well, right? And so they need to consistently. I've also been talking about going back to Johnny Newton. I've been talking about all of last year's draft picks. If you notice, every single draft pick from this class, you've heard their name in a major way. Right? So it was time for Johnny Newton to step up. It was time for Mikey Sarenstill. It's time for Luke, right? It's time for Jordan McGee. Javonte is out. He's injured. Dominique Hampton, let's not forget, got released after preseason game 1, right? So now Ben Sinnott, it's time. It's time, because the 5 draft picks you have from this class are showing up every week.
Yeah. Ben Sinnott is... Benson, I gotta say that Ben Sinnott has the hardest road to travel, and in the game that John Bates didn't play, Ben Sinnott, his blocking stood out. So you are learning a lot from Eckler, who is questionably you're not taking him off the field because he's a third down staple, controlling the field. John Bates is a blocking tight end that, like you said, is an extension of the offensive line. So then it is super duper hard for Ben to get on the field. But when he does get on the field, we're starting to notice his blocking is really coming along real good. We just got to see him catch a couple passes, and then maybe with him and John Bates in the future, we have 2 dynamic tight ends like the Patriots used to. You got to see. Okay, go ahead.
It's the same challenge that Jordan McGee has.
Yeah, Frankie Lulu.
But Jordan, has dealt with injuries though. Right. He was out quite a bit last season with injuries. Dealt with some injuries during training camp. But when you do have that opportunity, because now this is your second year in the system, you need to be making sure people see you. For real.
And his name got called a couple of times this weekend, which was a really good thing. I saw that number. I said, is that McGee? Is that McGee?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. That's a good sign.
And so yes. Yes.
We got a question here from our commissioner. He says, wait, come on. Say it. I can't.
This is another question from Ms. Wall. Rumor has it that the Commanders are interested in Alvin Kamara. It is true. Does this put us toe to toe with Philly as a balanced team?
I mean, if it were true, sure. I mean, you know what I mean? Alvin Kamara is fantastic. If it were true, but I mean, what's wrong with what they got?
Exactly. I was about to say,
I don't understand.
What are you doing?
And if it were true, okay, great. more bodies at running back, great. But I would like to, if they were doing anything of that sort, I would like to see them get some secondary help.
Yeah.
We could do the
Speaking
injuries.
of,
Be clear on that. Do the injuries, and depending on what's going on with Terry and or Noah, even though it sounds promising about Terry coming back, maybe it's some additional receiver help to come in there.
yeah, most definitely. Say it's your go. My bad.
Cliff Kingsbury. I'm kind of up and down on his offense.
Mhm.
You were running the ball so well. And most teams, once you start running the ball so well and they can't stop you, continue to run the ball. Why? What is it with Cliff that he has to put the ball up into the air?
It becomes, and it's an interesting question because some of it is a little bit of a, is it Cliff? Is it Jaden? What are we doing? Like who what are you seeing out there that says, I want to go away from this for a moment? I totally agree. When they run the football, good things happen. And I know that the bulk of the carry should go to build the book. I mean, I have always been like this. You all have heard me say this. Who cares? Like, why does it matter? Like, I'm just the only person that's like, well, why does it matter who the ball goes to and who is carrying the football if they can all get the ball down the field? Right. We've seen Chris Rodriguez break out on big runs. When he gets a hole, when they block, when he gets the hole, he's gone. Right. We've seen Jeremy McNichols break 4 and 5 and 6 tackles this season to get big yardage. Right. We know what Bill can do. The vision that Bill has, the way he is so patient in just following his linemen and getting through the holes. It's impeccable. It's fantastic. Whichever, as long as it's not Jaden doing it all the time. Now, what did we learn on Sunday? And I said this on the pregame. They ain't gonna run, y'all. Like, listen, that's a part of his game. It's just a part of his instinct. Brace, no brace, don't matter. LA, Northwest Stadium, he doesn't care. If he got to make a move, he moving. And that's just him. And it's a part of who he is as an athlete. But I would rather see run it by everybody that you have, not named Jaden Daniels. Understanding that Jaden is going to run. But we also saw some, he just is. It's just like, there go Jaden running. All right. He loves it. It's fun. Now, what we did see is you saw growth in Jaden too, in year 2. You saw him slide some more on Sunday. You saw him ball away some more on Sunday. He wasn't trying to be the hero. He wasn't trying to play the cape. But when it was time for him to trust the run, he went with it. When it was time for him to trust Luke McCaffrey,
that 50-yarder. Ooh.
He went with it. Now he's gonna go to Debo all day, just like he does with Terry when Terry is out there. When that times he didn't, right? When he gets fixated on a person, he gonna roll with it. But I don't think people realize that play with him and Luke McCaffrey was major, just in how they play.
Which play? Which play you referring to? The bomb?
The bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
McCaffrey had a few plays during the game.
Right, but that bomb, that's clearly somebody said Luke is winning his matchup.
True.
Get him.
And that also.
Other times you probably wouldn't have seen that happen simply because he gonna run it. He's gonna run it. Jaden's gonna run it. Make that. But they were trying to get that down the field at that point though. So.
And also, one thing that did also was it moved those safeties back. It kept those safeties back and kept them out of the run game. So remember when I was saying that if we come out and go straight down the field, Terry, I wouldn't be mad at it because it's going to back those safeties up and give the running game some room. So that's one of the things that did as well.
And we're seeing a progression with Luke anyway, right? Look at how much Luke has been doing with Terry and Noah out. You haven't now 2 weeks in a row. You haven't seen Debo take any special team snaps. I prefer having Debo out there, and he's dealing with a heel injury as well. But he's going to have to be heavily involved with the offensive snaps. But now you're seeing Luke getting that shine on special teams and also able to make impact on offense. That moment was bigger than people think. Just from what the offense can do.
Right.
It's a great.
Yeah,
It was a great time.
I think it did something for Luke's confidence as well. Like
Yeah. Luke
scoring that
was
touchdown
Luke,
versus the
Luke was
Raiders.
dude, Luke had all the juice after the game. I was like, yeah, I was just like, this is funny, but it's nice because they're happy. After the Falcons game, they were not happy, and I was like, yo, y'all are the hard group to be around when y'all lose. Whoa! And I asked that question to Marcus Mariota a few weeks ago in the press conference. Like, I've noticed you all have a hard time getting over a loss, and he kind of laughed because it's like. I'd be
They don't
glad
like
to
it.
win again because this is, and they're not mean or anything. It's just they don't like losing, and
Yes.
and they have goals, and they're disappointed in themselves, and so they got to get out of that. But run the football. You got three really, really, really good running backs. I said all of that to say, use all like you got to use them, and it does, in my opinion. It doesn't matter who gets the carries. To me, Bill get you in trouble.
Right.
And they're still not ready for Bill. But what they're also not planning for that I've noticed immediately with some of the opponents, they're definitely not ready. Who gonna be like, let's be for real. They're not gonna be ready for Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols.
It's different.
So why not spice it up? And say, well, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some of my Warriors you don't know nothing about. Watch this. You just got 40 yards on you. Didn't see that coming. And that's why I couldn't understand even in Atlanta. I'm like, just run the football. If you got to score more than 20, just run it. And that helps with controlling the time of possession.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Which
The
is
defense
what we did in Atlanta that day.
The defense is
the
looking,
ball.
and I don't know what's going on with me and Sayed switching positions. Sayed's on the offensive side of the ball. I'm on the defensive side of the ball. I want to go back to this. I want to go back to the secondary. I'm seeing some outstanding play from Revo, Trey Amos, but Quan Martin is jumping off of the film. Like Quan is everywhere. He is literally stepping up in more ways than we knew. Like when Quan got on the field, now it's hard to take him off. But the fact that he lost his communicating partner and Harris back there, Quan he seems like he's controlling that back half too now. So how important is Quan to the secondary?
Huge. I mean, he was one of the game day captains in Atlanta, and because of that fact, and because of in that game, what I think was even more apparent was how much they miss Will Harris. We have to remember Will Harris also played with Marshawn Lattimore in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So he's super smart, and from a communications perspective, he was able to help with the communication of what Bobby is saying, what others are saying. He's able to get that across. So Quan didn't have Will or Percy for that Atlanta game. That was going to be hard on him. But also understanding that the miscommunication, they have to get these right because then it's a breakdown in execution. So you're really, in my opinion, seeing Quan now start where he left off last year, because it was just like Quan is everywhere. Quan, and it was like a Quan, right? And he's so pivotal to the success of the secondary. And he made that play. They have to. I think they understand they have to. Yes, nail your tackling, but you have to make these plays because this is what they're doing across the league. Look, they teach this in youth football, punching the ball out and pass breakups and all of that. You mentioned Jeremy Reeves. Back in May, Coach Joe Witt Jr. shared with us, I know he's our special teams ace, but we got to find a way to get him more defensive snaps. And he has been excellent. Also remember Jeremy Reeves last year, he's one of the captains of the postseason, right? Week 1, game day captains. Pay attention to these game day captains things. These are very important points when it comes to the game day captains and who gets picked for being game day captains. It really is a thing, okay? And week 1, Jaden Daniels, Bobby Wagner, Jeremy Reeves. There's always somebody from the offense, the defense, and special teams. week one captain, you up there with Jaden and Bobby, that, like, for real, that's a tone setter for the season in week one. Jeremy Reeves is absolutely as advertised. He's been an amazing teammate. And I'm going to tell you, from a media perspective, he has always been tremendous with all of us as well. So I am a huge Jeremy Reeves advocate. And I just think he's going to keep getting better each and every week. Same thing with Quan Martin. This was a big boost for them. And some of the tactics that I know that they used in practice that Coach Quinn shared with us yesterday, in terms of the communication, right? Normally they have music going and all this. They were like, no, turn the music off. Because now we'll hear how y'all talking to each other. What y'all saying? Because maybe it was, this is me speculating now, right? Maybe it was a situation where people are like, I didn't really hear what you said, but I'm gonna act like I heard what you said. No, I want to hear how y'all talking. What are y'all saying? Turn the music down. Because now I need to know what you are communicating and how you're executing, how you're receiving it. And in game, it's hard to do that, to really, truly course correct. You can do it. And we did see them do some of that on Sunday, because I don't want to miss the very important point that there was still an early explosive play on the Commanders defense by Justin Herbert. That 41-yard run, that wasn't good. That was bad.
No.
And at the beginning of the game, I was like, okay, now this is going to be a long flight home. My goodness, we got to deal with this. It's a red eye. I got to sit up in here. And so, like, it's like, oh, this is going to be bad, everybody. But they got it. And they had to, for sure.
I was telling Sid, I was sitting there knee deep in the crab boil, and I was telling Sid, we finna lose the defensive coordinator.
Oh, listen. I was like, well, y'all, this is it. Say y'all goodbyes, I think. But I like all of them a lot. Y'all know this, and I've talked to you about this offline as well. I like every single last one of them. It's not anybody that I would be like, but name of the game is winning. And they have been vocal about what the goal is. Very vocal. So not in a pompous way, just, stating what the goal is. And they better have switch some things up.
Come on, say it.
I mean, we don't cover quite a bit of the Commanders, of what they did good and what they did bad. I think Larry Thompson is fitting in perfectly with this offensive scheme. I hate for those words to roll off my mouth, but I watched him open up quite a few holes during his last game, and he fall into the camera almost because they had zoomed in on who it was. And who was it? Larry Thompson. Like, But give me somebody you think that could break out later on during the year that we haven't really watched yet.
That is a really, really good question. That will break out later, or who I want to break out, or I'm a Jordan McGee. I think it's time. You talking about the offense or defense?
I mean either or.
I went defense, so I'm gonna say Jordan. Jordan. Yeah. And I want to say this because it's like, I know there was a lot of talking. I asked Coach Quinn about this. It was so much conversation around Bobby Wagner getting less snaps. And it's like, listen, he doesn't have to get less snaps in order for Jordan McGee and other guys to get on the field.
Nope.
He doesn't. He did it all last season. And trust me, if ever there was if they could take him off the field, they would. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm putting down? Like, your best option is your best option.
54. Yep.
And he's too smart. I almost cussed on y'all show. I'm not gonna say he's too smart. And so he just is. And that's why I asked Coach Quinn yesterday, okay, we know what he brings for the leader, but on game day, what does he bring on the field?
Right.
So now that it can be described publicly what he does. And I don't know sometimes what the broadcast is showing. Sometimes I watch the broadcast, of course, the all 22, and sometimes I don't. depending on the game, because I see it. I saw everything. I don't need to watch that again. You know, if it was just like, you know, because it's some things. And even on Sunday, there were some things that I saw that I was just like, oh, you know, because that game could have really gone bad for sure.
Yeah.
And he's constantly communicating. He's moving guys on the line of scrimmage. He watches so much film study that and Coach Quinn said it yesterday. He knows the personnel. He's not just talking about the Commanders personnel. He's talking about the other team's personnel. He watches that much film study all the time. He kind of has that photographic memory thing that Coach Kingsbury talked about that Jaden has. He could just remember. It is it's brilliant, right? But Jordan McGee, going back to that, you saw what he could do. So I think he's one for sure. I think from an offense perspective, because you're already seeing Luke make progress and be on the up and up. When Jalen Lane starts to hit, he gonna hit. He is going to hit. You already know what Bill is gonna do. Bill, I did Bill's first interview when he was at rookie camp. I was like, yeah, this kid is dope. Because remember Bill's backstory, and I've told this story before. Kid didn't even play, was ineligible, was still showing up to every practice and game like he was playing. Was still in film study, still with his teammates, was ineligible, did not have to show up. Nobody is checking for you. Was at every single meeting, every single practice, every single game. What does that tell you about his work ethic? What does that tell you about who he can be and what he can do? Yeah. Okay? Don't count him out. And his personality is exactly what you saw on TV. The kid is amazing. He really is. And so we know what he gonna do. Okay, because he got the juice now. Because you saw it, because you saw him fumble.
Yep.
Still got all the support in the world. And
he looked like he took it to heart.
And took that adversity, like, won't happen again. Gave him a shot. That's what he did with this shot. They ain't take the ball from him. No, keep going. Okay, mistake, things happen. All right, okay. Yeah. When Jalen Lane hits, he's the one. He's the one.
I'm excited about Jalen Lane.
This rookie class, it's only 5 of them, but they making some noise because Josh Conley Jr. People not talking as much about Josh Conley Jr. anymore. That's because he's holding it down.
Yeah, I'm excited about Jalen Lane. Okay, so I'm going to the offensive side of the ball. Our big guy, our guard, just came off the IR. They activated his 21-day practice window last week. He's not back yet. You have Tyler Badass, who sets the tone for that offensive line. Sid mentioned Laramie Tunsil. You got Chris Paul, who seems like he refuses to go back to the bench.
I just keep laughing out loud. It's probably inappropriate. Sorry.
Conley Jr. Conley Jr. And then we're going to bring back a guy that we thought was a tackle that you moved in the guard. I'm glad we play Philly later in the season. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we do, because this will give them all a chance to be a little better. But this offensive line, I'm excited about the run for one, but I'm excited because there is a legit dog coming back to the offensive line. How excited are they to have one of their alphas back or coming back real soon?
Well, if I'm excited, they got to be excited, because but what I want everyone to watch for, though, because you're absolutely right, exactly what you described. This offensive line can be very, very special, right? And what is needed in championship teams, and you create an environment where Jaden doesn't have to run because he's being blocked for that well, right? But again, it's part of his game. He's just gonna run anyway. But he just gonna run. But maybe he wants the wind in his hair, so we stop. He's just gonna run anyway. But I think that it's going to be great. This is now 3 weeks in a row, I think. Yes. Yeah. 3 games in a row that Brandon Coleman has been a healthy scratch. So we talk about draft picks. I think it's just something to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
It's something
and
to
it's
watch.
not
And not, I mean, he's not been Chris Paul's backup. He's been inactive.
right. It's now remember, Chris Paul was what, a 6th round pick. He was a 6th round pick or something like. He was a really late pick
And he's
in the
been
Ron
on
Rivera era.
He's right. I was gonna say he's been on the roster for a long time.
And sometimes it just takes for that coach to mold you the right way, right? So Brandon Coleman, if you stay out of your head and continue to listen to what the coaches are telling you, you go from healthy scratch to active,
Yeah.
and you just got to keep digging, keep fighting, and figure it out. You got to figure it out. But I'm excited about the offensive line.
Oh yeah, be
And
excited nonetheless. I mean, it's Sam, but I wanted to bring that up because with Sam Cosmi coming back, okay, who, and it could honestly not be. It could be someone that's not on the offensive line, right? It could be somebody else that's actually been active that ends up if they have if they got to cut someone, is what I'm trying to say. But it's something to look out for.
yeah,
When Sam Cosmi returns to the active roster. And so I don't want to lose sight of that in the movement that has been made on the offensive line without Brandon Coleman, who was your starting left tackle all last season, moved him to left guard, now has lost that spot to Chris Paul and has been inactive for 3 games in a row.
yeah.
It's different from going to the bench, or being inactive. He's been inactive. So Coach Quinn has been loud. And then another thing he's been loud about is, hey, every week is a competition. The best people go, they're gonna be up. And
We'll see.
so we'll be watching that. And it could be anybody, right? But Cosmi is coming back and he looks great.
Speaking of competitions, right? I, for one, was advocating to bring in another kicker. Is it time for me to eat crow? Because
No.
Gay has been
Nope.
he's been doing well in
Trust
the
is
recent
earned.
weeks.
Trust is earned, and I just nope, because it's better when
Okay.
you don't trust him. So
Okay, I will continue to doubt him.
yes, I do. That's what I do. So I just be like, but what I will say, I get making myself laugh here. I'm out of it. It was a long weekend. That time change is crazy. But what's been helping is the shorter yardage.
Mm-hmm.
Even though in some moments that didn't matter either, and they have not been outside. The roofs have been closed.
Yeah, the last 2 games.
Use your context clue. Use your clues. I'm not gonna let anything slip through the cracks.
And we got a Monday night coming up too. We got a Monday night coming up
And
at
if the wind
Northwest
blowing, I
Stadium.
don't know. That's why I said no. Keep that same energy because you've been in places. You've been inside. You've been indoors with shorter yardage, and that's great. But you got to do this outside for me to believe you.
I got you. For the first time in a good little while, especially this season, the offense looked to be more aggressive. It looked to be more aggressive. Did it feel that way to you, or was it just the addition of the running game that made it feel more aggressive? Because when the offensive linemen are moving downfield, it just gives you that feeling of aggression.
On Sunday,
Yes.
absolutely felt more aggressive. It was Jaden. I already said it was Jaden. One thing that I've been sharing, and I know the team doesn't like to talk about last year, but it's like, hey, I'm an investigative reporter. I pay attention. Last year was just year 1, so I pay attention to trends. I pay attention to themes. I pay attention to things. And that Cincinnati game was the game. I was like, who's this guy? Who is number 5? This is a different number 5. He was different that night than he was the first 2 weeks. On Sunday, I said, there he is. That's the guy I saw week 3 and for the rest of the season, for the most part. The only other time I didn't see it, was I think that Thursday night football game against the Eagles. I didn't see it that night, and I think he said he wasn't injured, but I think he might have been injured. It was that short week against the Steelers. There's the only other time I didn't see it. It's a thing. And I don't know if you all saw Lake Lewis. If you follow Lake Lewis, one of my media colleagues, he made a joke. He said that I kept saying in the press box, and and it's not necessarily dating myself, but hey, listen, this is a classic movie. Yeah, anybody ever saw the movie The Last Dragon? It's a classic movie. So I kept seeing and I was like, Jaden got the glow. Like Bruce Leroy in The Last Dragon. And I was like a joke, but I'm like, no, when he has this aura, he has this thing, and they respond to Jaden. They respond too, because they've won without Jaden, right? They won the Raiders game. They were at home. Jaden was in the building. And so that's why I kept saying in Atlanta, I said, he's not even in the state. So he can't save you. His aura, his presence, whatever he does with the talk to y'all, I saw it Sunday, and I was like, that guy got to be out here all the time. And it doesn't necessarily mean in the game. I've seen how he is when he's on the sidelines. It's like the last game of the regular season last year in Dallas. And I always made the joke. And then some of the coaches said it too when it came to Marcus, right? Yes, Jaden loves to play. He loves to play, but there's nobody that's going to be the bigger cheerleader for this team and for Marcus. And he's just, gosh, I wish he was my cheerleader. He's amazing in that way. But when he gets in that zone, when he's in that, we're going to win, we can't lose mind frame, they're different and they're more aggressive. And that's what it was like in Cincinnati. If you go back, I don't know. Now that's a game.
Watch QB. Watch quarterbacks. Watch the second season of quarterbacks. Joe Burrow will tell you. He said we played well that night. He said Jaden he refused to lose that game.
He refused. Listen. Oh, Joe Burrow said that. So listen. If you don't want to believe me, believe Joe Burrow. Okay, because I'm telling you what I saw. And I've been yes, I was like, Jaden, and it's hard to describe. He's different, and everybody says it. Behind that helmet, he a different human. He's a super chill, humble, laid back, fun loving, all the things you see. Super kind, all the funny. Sometimes the humor be a little dry, but hopefully, maybe we debate about that. Like, that wasn't really that funny. Man, sometimes he is really funny. It just depends on the day. But anyway, he loves to have fun, and he loves what he does. And so yes, I'm with believe Joe. You don't believe me? Believe Joe, and that's who he was on Sunday. I said, there he is. Because
my question now is, did you see it before the game?
No, and that's what I was going to say. I think the slow pickup, it can kind of be all of them, because you have to remember in camp and in practice they can't full on hit,
right?
They can't full on tackle. I think that's one of the reasons why tackling be so bad, and that's because that's across the league. So the defense stuff at this time of year. That's just my opinion though, but they can't do a lot of those things. And so now I'm kind of like, maybe it's all of them that are kind of like warming up to it, like a preseason game 4 and preseason game 5, the first part of the year. Because if you think about it, technically this is Jaden's week 3. This is his third game of the season.
It is absolutely
and so
that right there.
I could be off. They probably not even think about it this way, but I do my job a little different. And I'm just like, it's that third game. It's that third game where he just like, and Joe Burrow, I'm gonna go back to that. Joe Burrow was absolutely correct, because I'm gonna go back to the defense. Joe Burrow was doing his thing.
Yeah.
They were doing their thing. The defense couldn't get them off the field, but Jaden was like, watch this. Like he just...
Well, I'm gonna tell you one better, Candy. I'm gonna tell you one better. He said, hold my shoes, hold my pink shoes.
Yeah, he changed his
He
shoes.
changed he changed his shoes so quick.
Him and Debo, and I saw him do that in New Orleans because I remember in the New Orleans game. This again, they don't like to bring it up, but you have to. I have to do my job well. It'll be like I've seen this before. I know what this is, or I know this is. He did the same thing in New Orleans when he pulled off. I think that catch was to Terry. It was to somebody, and he slipped. Remember, he kept slipping on the turf in New Orleans. He kept slipping.
New Orleans, yep.
And Jane took them things off. He had a backup pair. No. Don't even care if it matched my outfit or not. Does not matter. I'm trying to win this football game. He and Debo did the exact same thing. They both changed out their cleats. And I always thought it was important to mention that Debo did it too. They had on the same. They both had on the pink shoes. So
Debo kept his. Debo went to a different pair of pink ones.
Yeah,
because he went to a different pair.
Because I was looking, I said, well, Debo changed his shoes too.
Yeah.
They came out the halftime, and then depending on the situation, sometimes like Bobby Wagner is the first person out of the locker room after halftime. Sunday, Bobby and Jaden. And I said, I already know what type of time they on. I knew what type of time they were on when it was 2 minutes left in the half because I saw them talking, and I was like, oh, I would bet my house what that conversation is. And it was probably something like, get them off the field so I can get back on here. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I got you. I got you. All right, bet. Let's go. Let's do this. And because Jaden gets sick, he's fun, he's smiling, but he gets very sick. The aggression on fourth down, Jaden started that.
Okay.
It all started in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did.
Let's go. Like, he just do whatever he say. And sometimes Cliff will say, hey, this is his train. I'm just riding. Take him very literally. They work through what he's comfortable with, what he's not comfortable with, what he can, I'm not making this up because I was just like, all right, there he is. Okay, we're back. Welcome to the NFL season, everybody. Started a little late this year, week 5. But okay.
It did start a little late, but the way that things are going in the division, you thought the Giants were about to get themselves going correctly, and then they went down to New Orleans and stubbed their toe. The Philadelphia Eagles took the Denver Broncos a little bit too light. They came out and got a win. Dallas Cowboys had a bye week playing the New York Jets. They got a bye week. How are we, in your opinion, looking in a division, and knowing that we still have those the last 5 weeks, I think 5 division games? How do you think this division is going to set up for the end run?
I'm going to be honest with you right now. After Sunday, it's fair game right now. It's fair game in the division right now because, people want to talk bad about the Cowboys. And I'm like, why? Dak Prescott looks very good. Don't talk bad about him now. Just wait until it's every week. Dak Prescott looks very good, everybody. I don't want to hear because I can't do my job well like that. When you're like, well, it don't matter because he going to fold. He going to do this. I can only deal with what he's done thus far this season, what he looks like. He looks like he's very healthy. He looks very happy. He's got the family he's always wanted. He looks, again, going back to health. And Brian Schottenheimer ain't too bad, is he? He's not too bad as a coach. No. I'm kind of impressed. I'm impressed. And so they're playing like a team that's trying to go somewhere, and they're playing without fear. I think they could have easily won week 1, but they didn't. They could have came away with the Green Bay game, right? Michael Parsons, I think, stopped that. I think he helped out, I guess on that one, but they tied, so technically they didn't lose. The Giants is just an anomaly, right? Like you said, you thought they were on to something. They beat the Chargers, got Brian Daboll and everybody looking like a genius for, start Jackson Dart. Okay, what are you doing? Why would you start him this week? They win the football game. Then they go down to New Orleans and lose. And it's just like, all right, I have no idea what's going on here. And like you said, and I wholeheartedly, and I was saying this weekend, I was like, Philly is always just doing just enough. You know, like they just saving everybody. They chilling. Everybody ain't breaking a sweat. And they like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. They about to catch up. And it didn't work for them against the Broncos. They ran out of time against the Broncos. Yep. And now, welcome to week 5, Philly. Now you got to start playing people off the rip because they were kind of doing the bare minimum, in my opinion. They weren't doing anything extra impressive. They were just beating people. They were beating people the way the Kansas City Chiefs were a couple years ago. We would be like, how they win that game? They're not even doing anything. And they undefeated for half the season. But the Broncos made them pay for it. Don't forget, that's one of my sleeper games.
Yes. I will not forget because you said you was ready to go to Denver that week. You was like, I'm ready. I'll see y'all in Denver.
Even though they coming here.
Here, right? Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna be up early that morning. That's gonna be for me because I'm a huge advocate for Pat Surtain. And that was definitely one of the things that Jaden even talked about, right? I think that ended up going viral. Which corner, which defensive back, what was he looking forward to? And he mentioned Denver, Pat Surtain. I was like, listen to me, you all. I'm around these people a lot. I know how they are wired. It's no surprise to me that the only person who's probably looking forward to that game more than me is Jaden Daniels. And so, because I know what type of time they on. And now people should know. You got to warm up. This season has been all over the place so far. All over the place.
But Sid's about to bounce. He's got a job to go attend to. So Sid's about to bounce. Sid, you got anything else, Sid?
No, you know what? Actually, I do. One of the things I saw was that they started to put Louvu out on the edge. And he struggled a little bit, not a lot, but he did struggle a little bit with those receivers and tight ends out there. So they did make an adjustment by putting somebody over him, but he did struggle a little bit.
Well, what's interesting is I've been seeing them do that. So I'm glad I'm glad that secret is out because that was a hard secret to keep. I was just, and it was one of the things in practice one day. I'm like, nobody sees Frankie Louvu over there with the only me. It's always me. So I'm just gonna leave it alone because I've been told I tell too much stuff. My use the clue session getting a little too good. You gotta stop telling certain things. And so that was one that I said I'm gonna keep that to myself until somebody else pick up on it and see it because yes, Frankie coming off the edge just when it hit, it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
When I was thinking that was one of the things that you could one of the reasons you can get Jordan McGee on the field, Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner. That's where you can get because you rushing Frankie like an end. You can put Armstrong there too. It still gives you two quick ends, and you can bring Von Miller in. You can put you can this is a monster combination that you can who you gonna double.
Yeah, gas him up.
I was like, when is everybody? All right, I'm gonna act like I don't see it too. But okay.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Candy. Y'all have a good one.
All right, see you.
The fact that you when you do this.
I was just like, and I mean, you can tag Lake, you can ask Lake. I told Lake one day, I said, hey, Lake, I'm gonna tell you where to look. Do you see Frankie over there with the defensive ends? Are you watching this? He was like, I wasn't, but all right, okay. Stop looking. Because that's how it was with the offensive line situation. I was like, does anybody else see? And next thing I knew, it was like, you can't record the offensive line anymore. And I was like, dang, every time. All right, fine. I'm just going to act like I'm just going to wear my sunglasses all the time. Even when it's dark. Even when we're in the bubble, I'm going to wear my sunglasses because I don't get no smoke when I'm wearing my sunglasses. But when I'm not, and I've been told this by several people there. They're like, everybody can read your eyes. They'd be like, you would not be all that good at this game because your eye discipline is horrible. So you everybody knows exactly what you're thinking through your eyes. You just don't even
So
hide.
Quinn, you can't play linebacker or safety because your eyes in the room. Like, it's
Oh my
okay.
dang. They're gonna get me every time. And I was
Okay.
but yeah, so I'm glad he brought it up because I was like, nobody said nothing about it, so I ain't gonna bring it up because I'm like,
Okay.
so thank you for bringing that up because I'm like, yes,
I can finally
we
say
can
something
do
about it.
this,
Okay.
and not because I listen. Will Harris, it's been a joy to cover. If he's able to come back, and especially if they're in the running, hopefully for playoffs and all that. Hopefully he can come back later in the season. But with Will being out and the extras, they could use Jordan.
Mm.
Jordan has to speak. They can do some different packages where I believe, Bobby, Frankie, and Jordan can all be out on the field. I believe that. So I really do. So we'll see, because that's something that I'm doing more digging on behind the scenes because there's another position group that I was digging in on. I was digging in a lot on the running back room. Told you all about that. I've been digging in a lot on the linebackers. I've been digging in a lot on the safeties, right? And of course, when it came to the defensive line, it was like made you look. I'm just winging it. Let's see what happens. Oh, Javon Kinlaw, my goodness. Dietrich Wise. I hope he, is doing well.
Yeah.
But I've been watching that linebacker room like, okay, what are they going to do? Not because there's something wrong, but just you got Jordan, right, from last year's draft class. You got Kane, Madrano,
Yes.
this draft class. You also, undrafted rookie, Ali Cahoe made this roster, right?
Yeah, you did. Yep.
So I'm like, all right, how they gonna get in the mix here? So yeah, just keep watching. Keep watching.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody stays healthy and we'll see what happens.
Well, let's speak about the start of the game now. The running back room just went bananas. Let's start with C-Rod. C-Rod got praise from Coach Quinn about how these guys support each other. With
Mhm.
Eckler gone, who is now the leader of this room?
That's an amazing question. And it's kind of like they all are. Like there isn't, in a way, maybe it's Jeremy McNichols. Maybe I would say that because it's not like a standout leader. Their room is by committee.
Mm-hmm.
And I know last year Jeremy McNichols was someone who helped Chris Rodriguez a lot. I'm sure he's doing the same for Bill, but it's interesting. There's not not anyone who stands out for me right now as like the leader. It's like they are a unit.
Mm-hmm.
And they all support each other equally all the time. And it's not like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
after the fumble, they're all talking to Bill. Everybody's talking to Bill.
Yeah.
After a great run, they're all talking to Chris. They all are talking to Jeremy McNichols. Like they freaked out. Going back to the Raiders game when Jeremy broke like 5 or 6 tackles, they freaked out. They just lost it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was a crash out run. That was like
Yeah,
literally.
yeah, and it was much needed at that time in the game too. Like we got to go score now. Okay, Jeremy did it right, and so
Right.
that's a great question. I don't know who the leader of that room is right now. I don't. I think they are just they operate like by committee. It was clearly
Yeah.
Austin Eckler before, but now it's like they lead one another. It's like, when each person needs to be filled, they are able to fill one another, if that makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, and it sort of goes into what Coach Quinn actually said about that room. He says they are each other's biggest supporters when it comes to that running back room and cheering each other on. Um,
Right.
I really appreciate that because they all, like you said, it's a tough group to be around when they lose. So
Yeah.
when they got it going and they got it going in a good way, you are absolutely cheering for your room to do good things.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that support that each and every one of them needs.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about the bad thing that happened this week. We absolutely got off to the worst start ever, right? Like you said, that 40-yard run by Herbert was ridiculous. The secondary, it took them a second to get their footing, but Mikey Sanders still comes away with probably the biggest play, shutting the goal line interception, and that first touchdown to 15, I can't think of his name, that says guy, they just sort of lost him. But
Oh,
on
Keenan
Mikey's
Allen?
interception, no, not Keenan Allen, Brock Bowers. Is it Brock? Not Brock Bowers. It is.
No,
What's the
for
little
the
McConkey?
Chargers.
McConkey. Yes,
Oh,
McConkey.
McCulkin. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. They sort of lost him. Now it looked like when Deshaun Newton tipped that pass, like Mikey Sanders still was sitting, waiting for that exact thing again. So you're already shaking your head. So yeah, you felt that too, right?
But well, like that, Mikey knew it was
Like
coming.
like Mikey knew that same pattern was coming from a different place.
Yes. He had, like Coach Quinn described it yesterday. He had direct line of sight on the quarterback. He knew it was either coming or he just, Johnny got the tip, which helped. But I kind of laughed because I was like, it was almost like Mikey was surprised that he had it, but
Yeah.
he had it nonetheless. He was, it helped that Johnny tipped it. Mikey was in the right spot. One of the things that Donna Hopkins from Tony McGee's Football Plus asked Debo after the game was about Mikey, because we know they talk a lot, and they're close. And so he said that he shared that, and Donna mentioned this, I think, in the press conference yesterday too, to Coach Quinn, that Debo said that Mikey kept saying all week, I think I'm gonna get a pick this week. I think I'm gonna get a pick this week. He got it. And so he had been studying to do just that.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
The way they slowed it down on the TV copy so that you could see that Newton got the tip, Mikey was leaning before that tip came, and it almost looked like he was about to tip it away from him, so he had to reach back out.
Yeah.
Like he could feel him right there. He could feel Keenan right there. Like he baited Justin a little bit. Like I'm not looking at him, but I really am.
It's an eye discipline thing. A couple weeks ago, Coach Witt talked about the eye discipline and all of that. So it's a real thing. That's why they said I would lose at it. But
Okay.
but
Okay.
he was right. So I think maybe he did do some trickery, in that regard, where Justin thought he was clear of him and he wasn't.
So we have a Monday night game coming up. Let's start to look towards Chicago. We got a Monday night game coming up. Their team schedule is going to be a little bit different. Instead of what is it, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. They're going back a day because it's Monday night. So I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they get ready for the Monday night game or something like that.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. For media, let me be clear on that. It's Wednesday, Thursday, recovery day, Friday, and we get to be at practice on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it's going to go this week. A question that we have here is now that, because Coach Quinn brought it up, he says it's possible that with we could have Terry here on Monday night because of the extra day. The question is now that we play Chicago on Monday night, do you feel that we'll be at full strength with Terry in the lineup?
It's hard not to wish. I mean, you can't change the past. It's hard not to wish that they had a full training camp with Terry, because this wide receiver room. But then on the flip side, right? Look at what it's done for Luke's growth. But at any rate, if he is healthy and can go, absolutely, based on what they've been able to do thus far with the receivers being depleted in that position group and still being 3-2 with the injuries, that's great. for Monday Night Football against Chicago. You know, this was another one of the games that I had checked, I had circled. I
Yep.
said Atlanta was one that I had circled because they're going to be out for blood. They lost to Atlanta. Here we go. You know, Chicago was going to be one. I said this on the show last night. Caleb Williams won his town back, okay? Jaden then came to his town and stole all these hearts. He done won everybody over. Did you forget about Caleb Williams a bit? Or a lot. And that was a game last year that wasn't played well by the Washington Commanders.
Nope.
That was one of their not good games last season. And everybody forgets how not good that game was because of the Hail Mary, which is debatable on how it happened, right? Because if the Bears had all their defensive players in position and paying attention and being more disciplined, you know, that play goes a different way. They lose the football game, period. They lose. One play changed the outcome, and everybody forgot how aggressive Chicago's defense was against Jaden. And I mean, Montez had Jaden running a lot that day for his life, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And then Montez started dealing with a calf injury, I think, that game as well. So that helped buy some time. And the defense was getting tired out by Caleb because of how fast he runs and how much he was scrambling. This could go either way. This is another Atlanta Falcons from last year. If the Commanders don't win the coin toss in overtime, it could have went another way. And if the Falcons, I could have said this one, said was on if the Falcons clock management wasn't so bad that day, because that what they didn't do a good job with their clock management.
Last year, yeah.
Right. And that's still a challenge for what I could see last week too. But at any rate, it worked out in the Commanders' favor. This is a game that I'm sure Caleb Williams wants his number one spot. And he wants it on primetime in his backyard, because this is his backyard. This is his home. He really is from here. Okay. And I saw how LA responded to Jaden.
Yeah, you may see out at this game. We'll find out, because him and the Williams family, they're pretty close. So
okay. So yeah. I mean, I saw how LA was about Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Bobby Wagner. They LA, the West Coast, they stick together. I can clearly see that. But it's not necessarily that way here. I mean, you know, Caleb got a lot of love here. Let me be clear. But Jaden Daniels is the quarterback here.
Yep.
Okay?
Had Caleb been playing for us, it would have been a different thing. We would love him.
Absolutely, but that's not the reality. That's not the reality.
That's not our take.
And also, let's be very, very clear. You know, Montez Sweat want to win here. You know, Alamide's the kids wants to win here. You know, Eric Bieniemy, who's on their coaching staff, wants to win here. And please don't forget, their head coach is Ben Johnson, who I'm sure wants his due after the way Cliff Kingsbury outperformed him in that division.
In Detroit. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. But then again, that's on Coach Ben, because he's the one that decided to, like we're saying with Cliff this year, he decided to stop giving his best back the ball in Gibbs, because Gibbs was slicing and dicing that defense.
He was hot until he was not. And so he was hot until
yep.
But going back to that point, the defense, they got to get to Caleb early and often, because Ben gonna try to slice him up. Yeah. Just point blank, period. We got to stop acting like these people don't want to beat the Commanders real bad. Like they are a team that is on people's list now. For sure.
And not to mention that they got another wide receiver, Roman Doomsday. That is amazing. I don't know if you started looking at him yet, but Rome is
Roman's having a great season. They're doing well. They're doing well. Now, the one thing that the Commanders may have in their favor, which would probably be different than last year, right? The Bears were coming off a bye last year. They're coming off a bye this year, too, I think. They're on a bye.
Yeah, they had a bye.
They had a bye. So, hey, bring that energy home, because The Commanders are going to need that energy from the fan base. And get this word out. Get this word out. When the defense is on the field at Northwest Stadium,
Yes.
Commanders fans are supposed to be loud. Don't be quiet.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everywhere else, you're supposed to be quiet when Jaden and
When the
them
offense is on the field. Yeah.
But when the defense is on the field, be loud. Every other state, be loud. Loud. Cause a lot of ruckus.
I'll get that word out. I'll shout out my guy Rally Cap, Ted,
Yeah, everybody, it's like, why are
Road
they so
Warriors.
quiet like they in church? No, get hype, so they can get them off the field. Go back to praying and in church when Jaden is out there. But
Yeah,
you don't have to be quiet for these
most
people.
definitely.
They're not quiet when we all go over there. They're very loud and rambunctious, actually. So, so I mean, that's all I'm saying. But it will be good. I anticipate this being a very good game, and this was a game the Commanders needed their juice back. They needed it back so bad. So
it's time to get a winning streak going as well. You know,
because
because so far the season has been
at all.
It's been up, down. So it's time to start stringing and stacking some W's together. Coming back from the West Coast, you've got a Monday night, so you still have the same amount of rest that you would normally have. It's not a Thursday or anything like that. So it's time to get another W.
For sure.
What are you looking forward to on this Monday night versus the Chicago Bears? What type of where should we be paying attention to this week?
Pay attention to the run game in Jaden. Pay attention to see the creativity come back. Because I still felt like some things were a little simple, and that's good. You know, don't make it too creative, you know. In my opinion, if that makes sense. Defensively, just that defensive line. They need to stamp their position and their role. Pay attention to everybody that they call it old. You know, Bobby Wagner, Von Miller. Von Miller has a day. He actually has, and I posted this, his best games, some of his best games are against the Chargers. So he kept that going for sure. He actually
said he's really familiar with them. He said that. Yeah. He said that he's really, really familiar with the Chargers. His best games
are against the Chargers. Let's see Jaden and get some more activity with his security blanket and Zach Ertz going again. And I expect the running back room to have a strong day because they're going to come after Jaden. They can't get all of y'all. That's how
I feel like we have a better left tackle in LT.
For sure.
That's where Tej is. Unless they expect Tej to flip over to Connolly Jr., but that's no easy matchup either.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not right now.
No, not at all.
Young and getting better every week, just like they anticipated. And he spends a lot of time with Laramie. So watch the kicking game. My thought process is, and I've said this before, turn those field goals into touchdowns. You know, I anticipate it being a shootout because last year it wasn't actually. That was pretty low scoring game. So I anticipate a shootout. I would like to see a shootout, but it needs to be a one-sided one, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Like the Commanders need to go in Northwest Stadium and stamp, this is our house. We live here. And you don't come in here all kinds of crazy in our house. They need to. On Monday Night Football, they need to get back into the national conversation. Like, I was a person who in the media was actually annoyed by all the attention they were getting in the offseason. But now I'm like, you know what? Go ahead and let them know you on this type of time. And if ever you were going to let people know you were on that type of time, you were going to do it on Monday Night Football. Because everybody's going to be watching because of they're going to replay the Hail Mary 1,000 times.
Yep.
Per minute, probably. But anyway, like it's stamped that because it was the Hail Mary that won them the game. It wasn't complimentary football. It wasn't outstanding quarterback play. It wasn't a great defense. It really wasn't. If we're being, me, I'm always totally objective. It was the Hail Mary and Stevenson who made a boneheaded move. That's
And
what
Noah,
won
who
the
happened to be in
football game.
the correct play.
That's what did it. Okay. You won nonetheless. But I always say, don't let a win cloud your judgment, because that's what happened with the Falcons. A lot of people slept on them, and they had the same personnel pretty much on offense that beat them a week or so ago, right?
Yeah, yep.
So no. Don't beat them like you want to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It has
Absolutely.
to be convincing. It has to. At this point, it has to be, because listen, I was the person who was like, okay, I guess I got to go in this press conference and take one for the team, because I was like, okay, Coach Quinn, I remember, like, hey, it's great that you won, but this doesn't look like what we've been used to watching, right? Because at that point in the season, the Commanders were running the numbers up.
They absolutely were.
And because that came at week 8. So we've seen them run the numbers up a little bit against the Raiders. You see them do a little bit, but this got to be convincing for Jaden.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because 27 2 weeks in a row, a couple of times we should have scored. We didn't. We came. I gotta say, I think this Monday night coming up, I think, like you just said, we run the numbers up. I think that this has got to be one where you can't touch us.
Yeah, put on a show.
You can't touch us.
I would like to be entertained, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to be entertained now. It's week 6.
Yes.
I don't want to guess
absolutely.
I don't want to guess about who I'm covering, because I know who you told me I was covering, but I need to really see that in real life. And this week would be the week to do that. And you still need that juice and that energy going into Dallas. Every week they have to, because it's for so many. Last year was still magical, an anomaly. It was just, everybody was new. People weren't game planning for them. They didn't know what they were going to get. So the Commanders just lucked up. This is the season they need to be. We didn't luck up. This is who we are. The identity, because they still haven't had an identity game.
Oh, we just had 2 in a row. Well, 2 back-to-back with the Raiders. I think the identity is the run game, showcasing our offensive line.
Right. But
that's what I feel it is.
I think consistent aggression, though. Like, you haven't seen a lot of the fourth down. You haven't seen the defense be consistently disruptive. Because the reality is, nobody's afraid of the Commanders' defense.
Nope. Not at all.
They're not afraid. And they've also been kind of disrespectful. Like, the Falcons were kind of disrespectful. The Packers kind of disrespectful to the defense. Like, please. The Falcons were definitely disrespectful when they chose to receive. Like, oh, y'all want to receive? Oh, you have zero respect for this defense. You want to receive. So they're not disruptive consistently enough for people to be like, you know what? Might an extra day or 2 to plan for them.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a question here. It says, I see that whenever we play Chicago, DJ Moore seems to the ball out. Do you think he's a factor to look at? Plus, Rome starting to look like the number 1 wide receiver. What are your thoughts?
All of them. Absolutely. Especially when you're talking receivers. I think the secondary still has a lot to prove. Remember, even I was someone who was high on this secondary coming into the season and was talking about the roster being much better. Well, it's not necessarily showing up on the tape like that all the time that they're much better, right? And you think so, but it doesn't look like that. So we would all be delirious or unrealistic if we didn't think there's an anticipation that Rome and DJ Moore are going to have fantastic days, because typically running backs do, and typically wide receivers do, and so
you can't have all of them having great days.
You can't have all of them. You maybe one of them, or like I said with the Falcons, maybe one of them, but not all 3. It shouldn't have been Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Can't be everybody. We
Yeah.
can't sit up here and expect the team not to score because, again, that's rare. That's an anomaly, right? But this is the week, the complimentary football, you have to really be a threat. Not this week you were a threat, or that week you did this and that week, because I still want to see some more special teams play. The special teams been a little tad bit more quiet than I would like, and I
Yeah.
know it's because
Mm-hmm.
Debo has not been involved with the special teams the last 2 games because he's been taking more offensive snaps with Terry being out and everything, and he's been dealing with that heel injury. But even still, they need to make some noise
Yes,
on
they
Monday
do.
night. They need to make some noise on Monday night, and I really feel like it. Monday night at Northwest Stadium, they're wearing all black.
Yep.
You know how I feel about all black, but I'm trying to, they don't get me bought into stuff and then lose. That's where I'm at with it. Don't get me bought in. Like, you know what? Okay, fine. Just wear it all black. Just wear it all black. It's okay. But I also know they're doing that for statement purposes. You wore all black in the Hail Mary game.
Yep.
So I think there's only one game that they're playing all black in.
And that's this one. Yep.
So make me believe you, because you come in dressed for success based on what you did in this game. This is the way you're showing up. One night, make it count. At home, make it count. And not in a cardiac commander's fashion. Don't do that.
Yeah, no. Just get
Don't.
there and show them that they don't belong on the same field with you and give them no hope. As Doc Walker
Run.
would say, crush the windpipe.
Crush it. People are out here
Crush the
trying to
windpipe.
win every week. This season has been fantastic. NFL, I hate so many injuries are happening. So you always got to say, everybody get out of here unscathed, because that's another thing. But I think these are definitely these players that absolutely can be factors. But they knew all the things about the Falcons players. They knew all the things about these players, but then you went out there and act like you didn't know about them at all. So they can't do that. They can't do that at all.
Yeah, you can't mess around. You can't, not at all. Candy, thank you for your time that you're giving us. You watching First Name Podcast. We here live with Candi Waller, or Candi Seawall Waller. You can catch her on all of her social media platforms, on X, on Twitter. She's an absolutely great follow. Um, Make sure you check out Bowie TV. Bowie TV also covers the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I got to bring this up
Okay.
because we talked about it just a little bit. You said they're a different team with Jaden, right? And I know you were on the West Coast and
Let me
Baltimore was
be
at home.
clear on that one. I don't think they're a different team with Jaden. Is something I can't put my finger on it. It's like Jaden when because they did well with Marcus.
Yes.
But it's Jaden has and they didn't look. It's something. I think I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna just call it Bruce Leroy Jaden or the Glow Jaden or something. It's a thing. It's a vibe. When his vibe shifts, they all shift.
Right. So
Oh,
I'm asking that same question about the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar is clearly the leader for the Baltimore Ravens, and right now, it does it feel like they have gone into the tank, like we can't do anything without Lamar?
I don't know. And then Karita Parks and Karita Parks covers the Ravens from Bowie TV, and they just look defeated. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Seriously.
Okay. I was expecting a big
They made a
Derrick
big
Henry
trade
game.
today. They made a trade today. Karita had reported that Coach Harbaugh had said that everything was on the table. So they did make a trade today, and they did pick up CJ Gardner-Johnson, I believe, today. I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever. He's good, but they need some help up there in Baltimore.
They do.
Because Baltimore, in my opinion, and Karita and I have discussed this, Baltimore not being good is like not good for football. Like Lamar, it has to be good. It has to be good, and they're just not good right now, and it's jarring. Like, what is this?
Like you're not used to seeing Baltimore not be good.
No, and it doesn't feel right. But this week was a bunch of a shock, right? New England beat Buffalo. We saw Jacksonville
I called
Jaguars
that.
rise to the
Ah,
occasion and beat the Chiefs. And again, the Broncos beating the Eagles. It's just
yep.
so this right now, if anybody, I have no idea who's going to make the postseason right now, right? I have
Mhm.
no idea who's going to be in the Super Bowl. None. There's no, like, in my opinion, there's like no clear, like, you know what? Yeah, y'all going. Oh yeah, you go. Because you just really don't know what this thing is going to look like each week. And right around week 5 for me, and you've heard me say this before, it's around week 5 or week 6 that I know what type of time people are on. So, okay, Commanders, week 5, all right. Week 6, okay. But this is looking really weird across the board. And with the division, right now, anybody can run away with this division, the NFC East. I feel like. Because
Yeah.
you can run away with it because everybody doesn't play again to the end of the season.
Yep. Get those common foes out of the way and just run up on them.
And then you
But
got
I
to
feel
see what happens. Because, like, look at how Green Bay played the Commanders. Now, Green Bay has been like non-existent, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Look at what Minnesota just did with Carson Wentz. I was like, well, wait a minute. Carson Wentz went back in the game and then they won. And I'm just like, okay. Detroit's got a couple injuries, but now Detroit look like they out for blood. That's another game I got circled.
Yep.
Detroit
Yep.
definitely look like they back because I know nobody, they were crushed when they lost at home in divisional round, number 1 seed. Surprise. Okay.
The scariest part about Detroit for me is the
Mhm.
fact that they're doing this without their quarterback really having to stress.
Yeah.
They are relying on the running game. And once you start to move your safeties and up and everything like that, now this quarterback that everybody seems to think is, garbage will begin to show
Yeah,
his
I don't
talents.
know why they think that. That's crazy. And then like how the Rams lost to the 49ers. The 49ers is also like a team that can be looked at as a sleeper. We're talking about NFC because look at
Hmm.
all the injuries that they have. And they're
The
freaking
walking mass unit. Yep, a walking mass unit, and they
Yes,
just
and
keep
they're
doing it. They
figuring
just keep
out how
doing it.
to win games. And so that's what you gotta, injuries matter, yes, but when you start looking at the Vikings of the world and the 49ers of the world and how they're still finding ways to win with the injury list that they have, it's kind of hard to make the injury claim.
How about this one? Their backup quarterback looks better than their starting quarterback for the
Well, yeah,
49ers.
right now he absolutely does. I remember when they picked up Mac Jones, I said, now that's smart. I said that. I said, now Kyle Shanahan, that was genius because he fits so well in their system.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
fits so well. And
Hmm.
also, let's go back to you gotta have a good backup quarterback, man. You just do. You just do.
Hmm.
The commander, I mean, you have to. That fits the system and fits what you're trying to do. I thought Mac Jones was brilliant for them. I thought he was washed. No, he's not. Okay.
Nope.
And also, quiet as kept, Seattle's playing pretty good as well.
So Sid has been on this Seattle thing.
Yes,
He
Seattle
has
is
been on
playing
this.
very well. It could go either way out here. Seriously, you really don't know. Even if you're looking at the NFC, you really don't know. You don't. And of course, you include everybody else, the AFC, but from an NFC perspective, you really don't know. Everybody says, oh, they know for sure right now who it's going to be out of the NFC. I'd be like, we can't talk sports because you're not looking at everything. I mean, I could easily, okay, Detroit, but look at what the Commanders surprised and did them last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have to
And
like
don't forget
week five
Tampa.
and six. Tampa's going to be in the mix too. And so,
Yes.
so this goes back to the this get what we're talking about, and then Monday Night Football for the command. They need to stamp we're in the mix.
Hmm.
We're
Hmm.
in the mix, and they need to go to Dallas with the juice. They do because and going and skipping to Dallas. I know the team doesn't really do week to week, but skipping to Dallas, I want to see if Jaden has an issue with Dallas
I
without
was a
Michael Parsons. Without Michael Parsons, let me be clear on this. Without Michael Parsons, because with Micah, yes, issues all day. Without him, we're gonna see. We're gonna see in week 7.
I'm glad you said that because I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me, but as you said that, I started to think to myself, Michael Parsons has to be the one
Oh, that's my
lineman that's just as fast as Jaden. Like he can't run away from him. But
he
any other lineman,
tried.
he runs away from. But Micah is coming.
I mean, that's one of the good things, what's Micah's superpower? His speed. It is abnormal. It is abnormal for his size. And it's abnormal. It's tremendous. And I would say abnormal in a mean way. He's amazing.
Hmm.
And so I want to see how he does with a non-Michael Parsons Dallas Cowboys defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now
Dallas.
you've had issues with a Packers defense that had Michael Parsons. So I want to
Yep.
see what this looks like without him. But it's gonna be interesting. All of it, and then you got to see the Chiefs. Again, non-conference, but still important because you're on
Yep.
TV. You on TV. TV. Nobody else got anything to watch. They're gonna watch
Yeah,
you
that's a Monday night. That's another Monday night game. So you got Chicago on Monday night. Then you come down here to Dallas on Sunday. I
or
think it's a
America's game
3:30
or
or
whatever
4,
that is. Yeah,
yeah, it's the game of the week. And then you have a Monday night game in Kansas City. So yeah, you're home for one, on the road for two. So
yeah.
yeah.
And November is gonna be it's a lot. This is a lot. It's yeah. Yeah.
Well, Candy, if anybody's built for it, I know it's you. So I want to thank you again for your time.
Yeah,
It's always
absolutely.
great.
I
Oh,
love to do it. I'm glad I was able to still make it. Um, I guess we'll see each other again. What's that? After which game will it be after? I guess after the Dallas game.
it's after Kansas City. Well, no, it is. It's after Cowboys game.
It's
So
after
yeah,
the
and I'll
Dallas.
see you here. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
see you here. So we definitely got to hook up. I know I'm here. Said will be here. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
Al is trying to
I'll let
come.
people know. We'll let you know like what general area we're gonna stay in because I don't think we've decided we know, but we don't know because I threw a monkey wrench in that.
No worries.
But
No
anyway,
worries.
but
But I look forward to seeing you, Donna Lake. I look forward to seeing all of y'all down here at that point in
it's
time when y'all
hard
get
on
down.
game day to see people, as you know. So we might try to
No,
link
no, I'm talking
like
about prior
yeah,
to,
like a
yeah.
Saturday. Yeah, we'll try
Yep.
to link up. Because appreciate the love that you show us and having me on the show. Really, really appreciate that. And the support you give to Bowie TV. So yeah, thank you so much for all that you do for making sure you're highlighting us and our work because we are on the beat every day. And we
Yes.
are traveling and we are tired. Coach Quinn did tell us to get our rest. So I'm trying, but I'm not real successful at it. So
Right. They keep making moves so to keep y'all going and get your fingers going and everything like that.
yeah,
So
they
yeah,
even had me a little disappointed last week. I was kind of like, look, he told us to get our rest. We were all unprepared for the long season last year, but he was like, get your rest. It's gonna be a long one. Okay. So keep your
yeah,
word. We ready for the long haul too. But
yep,
yeah, it caught up to us going West Coast and then coming back.
yeah. Get some sleep. Tell Mama while I said hello.
Yeah, today's her
And
birthday. Today, October 7th, is
oh,
my mother's birthday. I had posted it on Facebook. It's her birthday. Yep.
okay, okay. Well, happy birthday to Mama Walla. We
Yep.
appreciate her for sure. And tell Pops we said hello as
Yeah, he got a
well.
birthday coming up on the 26th. So whenever it's his birthday, I'll let y'all know.
Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All righty.
All
Okay.
right,
See you
bye.
all.
Later. Okay, that was Candy Waller checking in with us. It looks like Al is not going to make it for sure. So listen, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over a couple of games from this week. Of course, me and Candy, we pretty much just went around the NFL, but um one game that I know that all of us wanted to talk about was the Arizona game with the ball being dropped. It was like it was a movie, right? The coach had addressed it already, saying, he took it a little too far with his player by putting his hands on him. So he apologized to his player. He apologized for what he has done in that moment, and it seems like they're all, they're all good as of right now. But that fumble changed the outcome of that whole game. The same way that Quan Martin's hit changed the outcome for the Washington Commanders, leading them to 27 unanswered points versus the Los Angeles Chargers. That fumble led to the Tennessee Titans absolutely having a chance to win that game. It was like everything that could go wrong in that Arizona game took a turn for the worse. So it was crazy, but it's football. The game is never over until the game is over, until there are zeros on the clock. Every little thing matters, which leads us to another game, Kansas City and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This has to be the second week in a row that a kicker has kicked the ball out of bounds on the kickoff following a touchdown or field goal, whichever, and the ball gets placed on the 40. Now, we've already talked about how these kickers in the NFL are pretty accurate, right? 50 yarders are like 30 yarders now. They're going through the uprights and they're going through the center of the goalpost. So when you only need about another 20 to 25 yards to win a game, it's absolutely, you just put your team in the worst possible position. You might as well just kick the ball through the back of the end zone. They get it on a 35. That's 5 yards less. But from the 40, it's guaranteed. And there's been like the last couple of weeks here that the team that received that ball on the 40-yard line goes down, scores, and wins the game. So you got to be watching these things through the rest of the season. Okay, so it's just me right now, and I'm going to save a lot of our things that we do for our Saturday show. So I'm going to leave some food on the plate. I'm not going to clean it today. But the one thing I am going to do is give you the line that we will go by on for our, our picks, which we always are trying to win the belt from Sid. He is our back-to-back champion, and he is our leader. Right now, I got you. Cuzzo. I'm gonna put those fantasy stats up here. But what I'm gonna give you is our line that we're gonna use for our Thursday night picks. We got the Eagles versus the New York Giants. So this is the NFC East game. The Eagles are undefeated in the division so far. They've only played one division game versus the Cowboys, is what I believe. And they beat the Cowboys opening week. So the Eagles are favored by 7.5 right now, and their money 7.5 at -102. Their money line is -400. The New York Giants are plus 7.5 at -118. Their money line is plus 305. The over under is set at 40.5, 118 for the over, 104 for the under. Now, Sid has already said he's already gave me what he wants. I already got that stashed away and wrote down for him. For me, I'm gonna put mine into our chat the same way I'm gonna put Sid's into our chat as well. And Lady A and Al will then put theirs in as well. And I will give you our picks on Saturday that everybody made. We'll go over that. So we had another week of fantasy football and our league here. And as of right now, Cuzzo has said that I let him down because I lost this week. I took an L. The Pigskins took an L this week. We lost to the number one team right now, which is Omar Cummings, and we thought Al was going to be on here. Al's 4-1, followed by Notorious 4-1. Omaha is 4-1. Dat Prime, which is the commissioner, is 4-1. Mr. Otis is 3-2. Pigskins 3-2. The True Ertz is 3-2, and then Saucy Vibes is 2-3, grabbing the last playoff spot. Here is our divisional rankings. So this is, which division is this? Hot Route. This is Hot Route's division right here. They got 4 teams into the playoffs right here, and on Blitz we have 4 teams in the playoffs right here. Omar Cummings, 4-1, of course, and then that Promise, and then Mr. Otis and Pigskins are right behind them, and then our fantasy detention, Georgia Dogs, they got 1 win, no white butts, is 4-1, and changed his name. I think that's Bruce. Bruce is 0-5, but hang in there, Bruce. Don't let that lineup just go to waste right now. Just keep fighting, hang in there. And then COZ, is 1-4 as well. So those are our fantasy lineups for fantasy for this week. Like I said, I'm gonna hold off on the rest of what we're gonna do. We were gonna talk a little bit of MLB playoffs, and we were gonna talk WNBA finals. Right now, the Aces are up 2-0 on the Mercury. We have to see if AT Thomas and her team can get back into the fight, which we hope they do. So that is going to be our show for tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging in there with us today. It was great. It was a great conversation that we had with Seawall here about our win out in LA. And now we got to come back home and bring that same energy and do it again. And hopefully this Monday night turns out to be another coming out party for Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders and the defense. Hopefully the defense can come and get after Caleb Williams and send the Chicago Bears back to Chicago with a L and some more Washington Commanders on their mind, because they seem to have we seem to be living rent-free in the eyes of the Chicago Bears fans. So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know. Shouts out to my son, United States Air Force. First Thing Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Said's going to say go dogs. You know I'm going to say raise hell.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all got to go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, first string is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Said from the South, so he rep GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe, recommend to a friend.